How about it, baby? Super Bowl champs once again. We took down the Buccaneers a few weeks ago. We just beat the 49ers again. Oh, it's good to be the champs again.
But what about the Bills?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to another edition of the Trajan Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler, and newly scarred from the War Games match I competed in this past week. But we won't go too much of that, but because those scars don't run nearly as deep as the scars that are affecting my good friend, the terrible towel wearing Trajan. How are you holding up after the last few days?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Things have been great.
Yes, it was quite a week of football this past week. Some wanted revenge, others wanted redemption. In the case of the 49ers, that was the case of neither, and in the case of the Steelers, it was much like some of the secondary. You probably would want this one back.
Yeah, it was one of those games where if we had a competent offense, you'd feel like we're gonna win it. But we didn't. We didn't.
Five drops, man. That's just
5 dropped interceptions.
ah.
Yeah.
that just hurts me in my soul just hearing that too. And I didn't even get a chance to watch that game. I just saw back on the highlights, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? I mean, some of them, yeah, you might have been a little off. You probably weren't expecting it, but there were a couple where it's like, man, that hit him right in the
He was
hands
right
too.
there.
Right,
Yeah.
right in the
He
hands
was
too.
saying, take the ball. And we're like, don't need it.
Well, let's not jump to dessert too quickly here. Let's start with the appetizer here too. So let us hear it, Kingdom, loud and proud. How about those Chiefs? A dominating second half from Kansas City, and they take it at Levi Stadium. A final score of 44-23, and boy, oh boy, did this game have some stories to it. Obviously, the most obvious one is the rematch of Super Bowl 54, of which I am proudly wearing the shirt of. It was the rematch of Patrick Mahomes and Jimmy Garoppolo, which is kind of funny because beginning of the season, Jimmy Garoppolo seemed like he wouldn't even be on the team anymore.
Sure.
It seemed like it was gonna be the Trey Lance show, and unfortunately for Trey, it's his season came to an end very abruptly. But talking about Patrick Mahomes, what a game for him! 25 out of 34, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns, and one interception. It was at the very beginning, and it's funny because the first thing I noticed was like, why are all of his interceptions when he throws it to Sky Moore? I don't. Why is it always to him? I don't understand. But more on Sky Moore here. More on Sky Moore here in just a second. As far as the rushing was concerned, I made a change in my fantasy lineup this week, and that's something else I know we won't delve too much into for Trajan's sake. See a nice little cameo there in the background.
Yep. We got a kiddo here.
We got a kiddo here. You're fine. It was announced that Isaiah Pacheco would take the starting role at running back, and he actually had the most rushing yards of all the running backs. But funny enough, it was Mecole Hardman who had the most rushing touchdowns with two, with a couple jet sweeps. And fun little stat here too: he is the first player in the Super Bowl era to score 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. He was a man on a mission this week, and there were some doubters out there that Mecole couldn't be the one to step up in the role of maybe the speedster of Tyreek Hill, but this game was definitely his coming out party for this season. Moving on, Jerick McKinnon, a key 3rd and 20 reception that kept the drive moving and ended up getting us some points. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, touchdown himself. Juju Smith-Schuster Our
Yeah.
leading receiver this week, and boy, it's been a long time coming for that. 7 receptions, 124 yards, his longest 45, which did result in a touchdown, with a key block from the number 2 wide receiver this week, Marquez Valdez Scantling, MVS, getting some key receptions there, and it was nice that I actually had him on my fantasy this week. He actually did something for me this week. 3 receptions, 111 yards, excellently done. Travis Kelce came so close to passing Tony Gonzalez for most 100-yard receiving games, and they kept him in. So late in the game, they took Chad Henne and put him in the game, but they didn't take Kelce out. They left him in
Yeah.
for one more drive, and the ball hit him right in his hands, and he dropped it. And it would have,
Wasn't meant to be.
it would have been enough. But you know what? Kelsey's got plenty of time. I think he'll get there
Right.
by the end of this year. So, great game all around from the offense. Even Justin Watson got in on the action too. It was nice seeing him in the back of the end zone. And Sky Moore with 0 receptions, 0 yards,
One target.
and a muffed punt. One target that resulted in an interception and a muffed punt. I'm like,
Which they did nothing with.
they did nothing with, and I was going to get to that. I was going to get to that because he was bailed out by my fellow Josh Williams. A beautiful goal line pick, which actually also ultimately resulted in nothing, but it kept them off the scoreboard, so it is what it is. Back to Pacheco one more time because he had a very key kickoff return at the start of the second half. About a 50-yard return, which also resulted in a 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty. Set up the Chiefs in great field position and ultimately got them a touchdown to extend their lead. And once they had that, they never looked back. The defense stepped up big time, and wow, look at all these sacks here too. Willie Gay, L'Jarius Sneed, Kalen Saunders, Chris Jones had 2 sacks, Frank Clark with 2 sacks, and a safety. The first time in what feels like forever we had a safety, and Frank Clark, the shark, smelled blood in the water, and Jimmy Garoppolo was the helpless little seal that that was devoured in the back of the end zone. Absolutely beautiful performance by the defense. Also, Juan Thornhill with the other interception that ended the game. Chris Jones forcing a fumble that a Malik Herring actually recovered, and we haven't heard a whole lot of him from this year. He's one of the guys that is stepping up with Tershawn Wharton being out for the season, unfortunately. So there might be a chance the Chiefs go after another defensive lineman. We all know that Kelce restructured his deal to try to free up some cap space, so who knows? Maybe the Chiefs will try to make a splash before the trade deadline. But on that note, great way to go into the bye week. Final score 44-23. The Chiefs improved to 5-2 for the year, and with the loss of the Chargers to the Seahawks, outright first place in the AFC West. So everything's looking hunky-dory right now, and we will definitely be enjoying this bye week. So any thoughts, Trajan, before we move on to the main course?
So I will share an interesting tidbit. I was complaining that you guys won and saying I was really hoping you guys would lose this week. And my wife was like, don't you hope they lose every week? I'm like, yeah, that's a fair point. It was impressive. It was good to see Juju going back and doing Juju things from his rookie year. And I wish all the best of luck to him in the world, but it's really sour. Couldn't he just had a great game and you guys lose? That's what I wanted.
Couldn't it just be a game-winning drive where he catches the ball, runs 2 yards, and then it falls out of his hands? I mean, couldn't it just be that for old time's sake?
Yeah, rub it in, rub it in.
Here's the deal. I may have just spoken into existence. It might happen before the end of the year. Oh, God, that would just eat me up inside.
Where's the bill? in the
What's
playoff.
versus the Bills in the playoff? The absolute worst case scenario right there.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of worst case scenarios, there were a few of those in this other game. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of I Don't Want to Talk About It. And Trajan, I know you really do not want to talk about it, but it's your time to shine, bud.
Yeah. Well, so the game starts off, and they just drive down there, score a touchdown very easily. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is bad. We go out, 3 and out, and then they drive down there very easily again. We hold them to a field goal, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be really bad. They do it yet again, hold them to a field goal, but then our offense kind of starts coming alive. We're going down the field. We score a field goal, 13-3. And then my man, George Pickens, great 7-yard touchdown pass from Kenny Pickett, gets us up to 13-10. I'm like, okay, I'm lighten up. The second quarter, we scored 10 points in it.
That
It's
was
looking
that
good.
was a great catch by him. That was well placed throw and excellent diving catch.
The dude's a beast. We need to get him more involved. Then the third quarter happens, and no one scores, I guess. It is 16-10 at this point. They did drive down and score before the half. And then fourth quarter happens. We have momentum. We're going down. I don't know what they decided to do. They got all tricky and decided on 3rd and 1 to go do a quarterback sneak, illegal formation. Then a holding, knocking off of a first down drive. And so now we're way back there, and Pickett, I mean, he probably wants it back, but he threw a interception. Oh, I didn't even bring up the first interception that the refs. I'm going to blame the refs this week.
Yes!
Yes! It was pass interference. Claypool falls to the ground because they got tangled up. You can't do that. You can't do that.
I have been vindicated.
Vindicated. We should have had that one, but they got an easy pick and the refs screwed up. But even the announcers agreed with me. But yeah, so our defense, they go out there, they make the stop, they give the offense the ball back. I'm like, all right, Pickett's got another chance to seal his legacy. We drive all the way down the field, and he throws a pick right in the end zone there. So his last name is really showing its color. There's been picks to be had. No pick sixes yet, though.
Nope.
No pick sixes. Just picks. I don't know what to say about this. This was a game that we alluded to at the beginning. We had so many opportunities. I believe it was 5 dropped interceptions. 4 I know for certain that were very, very catchable. And we just kept on getting opportunities. We stayed in the game. 16-10, and you have the ball in the fourth quarter. You should be able to win. You should be able to go down there and score a touchdown. That's what the greats do. That's what your quarterback would do. I'm not saying he's great, but that's what your quarterback would do. That's what Tom Brady's do. That's, the Josh Allens. And he is a rookie, but it was very disappointing. And it just shows that we need to fire Canada.
we need to Canada. We need to fire you out of Canada to Canada. You had to be kind of realistic with the fact that yes, there would be growing pains. I mean, the plan from the beginning of the year was ride Trubisky as long as you can. Hopefully the whole year, let Kenny Pickett sit the whole year and, get some experience that way. And he's been to no fault of his own. He's just been thrown to the fire at this point. It's sink or
Yep.
swim right now for him. And yeah, one touchdown, 3 interceptions. It's not a great look, but that's what's an even worse look is when your defense has 5 opportunities to get the ball back and give him more opportunities, maybe swing the momentum. And that was just I just couldn't even fathom the amount of frustration that goes into that. I don't know what's tougher, dealing with that frustration or pronouncing the last name of the guy that made the last interception on Pickett at the end of the game. Uh, but
I will say there's
yeah,
a glimmer of hope.
okay,
Glimmer of hope. TJ Watt has returned to practice.
yes, good.
So we got that going for it.
Whether that will magically cure the hands of all the secondary, that remains to be seen. But
He improves everything.
oh, absolutely, he's
Offense is better, defense is better, coaching's better,
he's a game changer.
the draft picks look better.
He makes everything look good, even the front office.
Yeah.
As far as receiving goes too, it's weird seeing Pat Fryermuth as your guys' top receiver. That's usually a stat reserved for like a Travis Kelce being the top receiver.
I think he's actually ranked 6. You know, when they do their announcements?
Oh yeah.
And the ranked out of his it showed 6. I was like, wow, I didn't realize he was that high. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, he's a hell of a tight end. Absolutely, he'll be, if he stays healthy, he'll be a force to be reckoned with for quite a while. I'd say, whether
Yeah.
he's on the level of a Kelsey or a Gronkowski or a Gonzalez or something like that in the future, well, we'll see. But he's definitely got the talent, and if he has, a good quarterback throwing to him, which I'm sure as young as those two are, and even George Pickens, as young as those 3 are. If they
Yeah.
just continue to grow and learn about each other and all that too, then that could be a hell of a trio
Oh yeah.
going forward. So,
It could be.
alrighty. Well, from one miserable thing to another, it is time for this week's edition of Locks, Upsets, and High Rollers. And as you can see by the scoreboard here, ba-bam, oh, ba-bam, maybe 2 hands, ba-bam. Ah, there it is, right there. Okay. I have yet again extended my lead, and I am sitting at a very comfortable 9-1. Baltimore over Cleveland last week. That worked out for a week. I really didn't have so much hope in my upset. It was just something I just kind of threw against the wall to hope it stick. But I am so happy that the Seahawks took down the Los Angeles Chargers. This being one of the reasons, but the other reason, as I mentioned earlier, because the Chiefs will now have the upright lead in going into the bye week this week. So that's also nice. And Detroit and Dallas, that was a laugher of a game. I mean, geez, poor Dan Campbell. That's just not looking good for him right now. Seems like no matter what he can do, he just can do no right. And Dallas's defense is just on another level entirely. So it is what it is. But yeah, we shall now see who our picks are for this week. And I will let you start.
Do we even want to know what my picks are? If anyone is listening to my picks at this point, they should stop. But I'm going to say with some confidence here, Baltimore will beat Tampa Bay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Baltimore with a good win over Cleveland last week, and Tampa Bay kind of spinning their wheels a little bit. It would be interesting to see. When is the last time Tom Brady's lost 2 game or not 2 games? What are they on right now? They're on a 4-game losing streak, right?
I think they are.
Okay. Has he ever suffered a 5-game losing streak in his career? I don't even think he's had 4.
I think I'd like to see it though.
Absolutely. I think everyone would like to see
know.
it. Which, especially since you're picking a division rival to take down Tom Brady. So
I'm stooping.
I guess the devil you know is better than the the devil you don't know, right? All right. Well, speaking of devils, my lock is, as much as it pains me to say, I'm gonna get the Buffalo Bills over the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are just a hot mess right now, as last week shown with their loss to the Washington Redskins. I mean the Commies. I mean the Commanders, and every time, right? Every time.
Yeah, every
Uh,
time.
I think Josh Allen is just gonna walk all over that Green Bay defense. There's just if freaking Taylor Heineke made short work of them. Of course, there was may have been some questionable penalty calls against the
Maybe.
Packer defense, but you know what? The win's a win is a win, and Taylor Heineke he had to do the work. He beat that defense, and I think Josh Allen's gonna whoop up all over the defense.
Oh yeah. That is a good pick there. I can see it happening. Um, it's just it really goes to show that maybe they shouldn't have stuck with Rodgers. They bet the farm on it, and maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe they should have been like, yeah, if you want to leave that badly, just leave.
Boy, it still seems like they want to because they didn't really help him out with any weapons or anything like that.
Yeah,
Can't throw to Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard forever. Uh, well,
exactly.
moving on to upsets. Who you got this week?
My upset of the week is the Steelers over Eagles. No, not even.
Hell of an upset, though.
It is. It is a hell of an upset, but my upset of the week here, and I just don't know on this one, but it's the Bears over the Cowboys.
Wow.
Bears,
Oh,
they gave me enough from Monday night. They gave me enough.
a very, very impressive showing by the Bears. Not only their offense, their defense too, finally stepping up, and it'll be interesting seeing how Robert Quinn, no longer with the Bears, now with the Philadelphia Eagles. So interesting to see how losing someone like that will affect them. But yeah, oh man, you get the Bears over the Cowboys. That would be the upset of the week, without a doubt. Although this one would probably be a run for the money too. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans over the Tennessee Titans, and Titans coming off a win over the Indianapolis Colts, and I. I'll talk about it. I watched Urinating Trees week's 6 review, and when he got to the Titans Colts game, he said, it's like Matt Ryan, it's time, and it cocks the shotgun and it shoots him because the announcement has been made that Sam Ellinger is going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the year over Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan he's been taken out to the farm. He's been put to pasture.
Yes.
He's gone to the great horseshoe in the sky. It's the ice has melted. Yeah, but as say Houston, they've shown flashes.
Yeah,
They looked okay in the first half against the Raiders last week, but Josh Jacobs woke up and just absolutely ran all over them, which is going to be, hopefully they learn their lesson, because, man, if you're going up against Derrick Henry, it might not be much better. So we shall see. But, yep, I'm going Texans over Tennessee just for the funsies of it, especially since we're playing Tennessee after we come back from the bye week, too. High rollers, who we got this week? Who's lighting up the scoreboard, in your opinion?
well, I mean, I am going to say the Giants and Seahawks. The Seahawks have been scoring. The Giants, they got that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it translates to a high-scoring game. I don't know. We'll see.
We shall see. The New York Giants, you want to talk about a surprise.
Oh, my goodness.
You could say that about either New Jersey team, the Jets or the Giants. What is going on? Of course, I think the Jets have used up the rest of their luck, as they have lost Breece Hall for the season, which is our best
They
wishes
did
to
get
him. That's sad.
Allen Robinson.
James Robinson.
James Robinson. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, one of the Robinsons. There's a few of them running around there too.
Yeah, I feel bad about that because he is a Wichita native,
Mm-hmm.
and he's out for the rest of the season. So,
Yep.
best of luck to him. Hopefully, he can come back strong. And I mean, we like to see the Jets doing good because if the Jets are doing good, maybe the Patriots are doing bad.
All right, and my high roller this week, I'm gonna go with, even though both their scores from last week tell a different story. I think they'll bounce back this week. It should be a good game. I've got the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. I think this will be the one to you know, kind of little shaky start, but I think he was just dusting off the cobwebs. He did come back from that concussion, and you got Detroit. Miami's defense, not as good as Dallas's defense. I think Jared Goff will wake up and start finding some good targets. And we'll probably see like a 38-35 kind of score, which hopefully is enough combined points to get me another point and extend my lead once again. So we shall see how that goes. Leave a comment below who your locks, who's your upset, and who's your high roller this week. We want to hear from you. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up the show this week, Trajan?
My closing thought is this: how does it feel that your loss is to the Colts, who have now put down Ryan?
Put down Matt Ryan, right? You know what? Now I feel a little better if we play him in the playoffs again.
That would be something. That would be something.
Open up some old wounds there. As I mentioned earlier, the Chiefs are going into a bye week this week. They will have the Titans the week after. What's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers? You guys got the undefeated Eagles this week.
We're going to lose. That's what's going to happen. I don't think it's like the 70s since we won the last time at the Eagles.
Okay, but let me offer this. It's not at the vet.
That's true. It's true.
Maybe that makes a difference.
We're going against the 6-0 Eagles. It's not going to make a difference. I'm any Steeler fan watching this, maybe they're ashamed of me right now. There is not a chance in hell. I am going to watch this, be disappointed, get mad, and I knew it was going to happen.
I salute you, sir. Godspeed, Spider-Man. Hey, you know what? It wasn't that long ago that there was a certain undefeated team that was riding high, got upset by someone that they probably overlooked, and you know what? Maybe it's time for redemption. Maybe it's time for another undefeated team from Pennsylvania to overlook their competition and another team to come in and just absolutely wipe the floor with them and make a statement that they are back in it, baby.
You're supposed to be making me feel better here, but you're not.
I'm trying, man. Come on. Come on.
Old wounds. Old wounds.
There's been a lot of those, hasn't there? All right, well let's close these wounds up, especially the one that's on my forehead here too. I'm glad that's not busted open from how excited I got over the weekend with the Chiefs and everything too. But that is our show this week. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Click like if you liked the video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends. We will see you all next week for our Week 8 Progress Report tier maker. We hope you join us there. This is Temple and Trajan. Signing off.